In this tutorial, we'll be doing the Chapter 5 SPSS exercises. Question 1 says, use the frequencies procedure to investigate the variability of the respondent's current age and age when the respondent's first child was born. In order to do that, we're going to click on the Analyze Descriptive Statistics Frequencies, and then we're going to select the appropriate measures of variability. Okay, so we open up our GSS 10 SSDS dataset, and we go up to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, Frequencies, and then we look for the variables we're going to work with. First one is going to be age, so we select age and we put it into the variable box. Click on Statistics, and then we'll choose quartiles, get a mean, a median, standard deviation, variance, and range, which are our measures of dispersion or variability. We click Continue, and then we can go down here to Format and click this box, Suppress Tables with Many Categories, and click Continue and hit OK. And that's going to bring up our frequencies for the age of respondent. So if we want to, we can throw that into a Word document. Copy special. I'll make it an image and save that as default. And then click on here and just tap Control V, and we can paste it right into our Word document. The other variable we want to look at is age when their first child was born. So we go over here to age kid was born, and we put that in here. Now statistics and format should be the same because we haven't changed anything, and we hit OK. And that'll bring up this box here, which gives us all the information we need. So we can copy special and paste that into our Word document. So here we have the respondent's age when first child was born and the age of the respondent. We have the two pieces of information that we'll need in order to answer this question. Question 2, they want you to use the Explore procedure to separate the statistics for age when first child was born for men and women by selecting sex as the factor variable in the Explore window. So you're going to click on Analyze Descriptive Statistics and then go to Explore. Then you're going to insert age when first child was born into the dependent list and sex into the factor list. And then you're going to answer the following questions. What differences exist in the age of men and women at the birth of their first child? And then you're going to assess the differences between men and women based on measures of central tendency and variability. Okay, so we go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, Explore. Here's all of our variables. Display variable names and sort them alphabetically. So we're looking for age when kid was born, and that's going to be in our dependent list. So we put that up here. And then our factor list is going to be sex. So we scroll down and look for that variable, and we put that in our factor list. So with the Explore procedure, it's going to select all the statistics by default, so we don't have to worry about clicking any boxes here. So we just hit OK, and that'll bring up our information here. So if you want, you can click and hit Control click, and this will give you a stem and leaf plot and even a box plot. So you can Control click all this information if you want, or just what you want to copy and paste into a Word document. Copy special, come over here and Control V, and you can put all this information into your Word document. Unfortunately, this just grabbed the box plot this time, so I'll just go back up here, select these two, copy, and throw them in here. There we go. So now that you have that information, using the Explore procedure, you need to then answer the questions, what differences exist in the age of men and women at the birth of their first child? So you assess the differences between men and women based on the measures of central tendency and variability. Question 3 wants us to repeat the same procedure that we used in exercise 2 in order to investigate the dispersion in the variables of education and occupational prestige score. So then you're going to select your own factor, which should be a nominal variable, to make the comparison, such as class or race or some other factor. So you're going to click on Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, Explore, and insert both variables educt and pressed G80 into the dependent list and your factor variable of choice into the factor list. Then in a paragraph or two, you're going to use appropriate measures of variability to summarize those results. So we'll go back to SPSS, we'll click Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, and Explore. We can hit Reset here, and that'll get rid of the stuff in the dependent and the factor list. So let's find our variables. The first one is Education, put that in dependent list. And the other one is Occupational Prestige. It's pressed G80. And then for our factor list, we can choose any nominal variable. One of their suggestions was class, so I'll throw that into the factor list. And then we'll hit OK. So that brings up all this information here. It's giving us the output for the highest year of school completed, and then the subjective class identification, lower class, working class, middle class, upper class, and then we have our occupational prestige score, and it's also separated by our class. So over here we have our descriptive statistics. This will give us things like the mean, the confidence interval, the median, the variance, standard deviation, min, max, range, IQR, and some other information. And that'll give it to us for each class based on highest year of school completed, and then each class based on occupational prestige score. So in a paragraph or two, you're going to take this information and use appropriate measures of variability to summarize the results. You could copy and paste this into a Word document, but unfortunately it's going to shrink it down really small. So it's probably best to just use this window here to answer your question. But you're going to have to do a lot of scrolling because this procedure spit out a bunch of information at once. Okay, so for question 4, we're going to investigate two variables using SPSS. One is in the respondent's confidence of the military, and the other one is the respondent's confidence of the press. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use SPSS to identify the level of measurement for each variable. So in order to do that, we can go over here to Utilities, check Variables, and then we can scroll down here until we find the variables confidence in the military and confidence in the press. So we look at it here, and it says measurement level nominal. And then over here it says measurement level nominal. So that answers the first part of this question. So the second part is, based on the level of measurement for each variable, what would be the appropriate measures of central tendency, and what are the appropriate measures of variability? So here you'll have to think back to what you've done in the classroom in order to answer this question. Or if you don't remember what you learned in the classroom, you can refer to your notes or to your textbook. For the third part, use SPSS and your calculator if necessary to calculate the appropriate measures of central tendency and variability for each variable. So because both of these are nominal variables, you can use SPSS for one part of this question, but you're going to need to do some calculations on your own for the other part. We can go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, Frequencies, and then we can put confidence in Army and confidence in press here, and then click OK, and we can get two frequency tables that will come up with our percents that we can then use in our formula to express the IQV as a percentage. So SPSS can construct the percentage distribution for us, but then you're going to have to square the percentages for each categories, sum the squared percentages, and then calculate the IQV using this formula right here. So for D, do respondents more positively view press or military performance? You're going to have to go ahead and analyze what you've just learned. And then E, examine whether or not your answers towards D varies by gender. And for this, we can use the Data and Split File feature. What we want to do here is we want to go up to Data, Split File, and then we want to find our variable sex in this list. Click on Compare Groups, click OK. And then SPSS will do its thing here. And then we run Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, Frequencies, click OK, and then that'll bring up our two frequency tables again. Only this time they're split by male and female. So here's our confidence in military, here's our confidence in press. For question 5, we're going to use the same data set to study the number of hours that blacks and whites work each week. So the variable we're working with is HRS1, and it measures the number of hours a respondent worked the week before the interview. And we're going to use the explore procedure to study the variability of hours worked comparing blacks and whites. Race SEN1 is our variable we'll use in the GSS sample. And then we're going to look to see if there's a difference between the two groups in the variability of work hours. Then we're going to write a short paragraph describing the box plot that the SPSS created as if we were writing a report and had included the box plot as a chart to support your conclusions about the differences between blacks and whites in the variability and central tendency of hours worked. So in order to do this, we're going to go up to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, Explore, and we're going to put Hours 1 in the dependent list and Race SEN 1 in the factor list. Then we're going to click OK. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to look for number of hours worked last week, white, and that's going to give you all the information you're going to need to answer this question. And then black or African American, it's going to give you all the information you're going to need to answer this question. So this tutorial was to show you all the steps you'll need to take in SPSS in order to be able to answer your question. But like a lot of things in statistics, it's going to be your job to take that information and then make some determinations about it and explain it. So thanks for watching. I've posted my office hours here again, and if you have any questions, you can contact either me or Dr. Case.